All right, hello people again. 3 videos. Oh my god, holy shit. I mean, surprised, that I'm actually keeping up with this shit. But what's it called? So for this one, I'm gonna talk about a very divisive one that I've been hearing a lot about lately. Especially from a Day to Remember fans. Like a lot of people since they released, I think it was Mind Reader and Resentment. I think Resentment was the main one. They've been getting a lot of hate for this album called Youre Welcome, and a lot of people have been hating on it. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me because I've been listening to A Day to Remember for 10 plus years, however long that they've been around. I think ever since for Homesick, that record that came out, I was instantly a fan. I even went to their older records where they were like more hardcore in nature, where it's like more like harder edge stuff. And then like after, for those who have heart and stuff like that, after they did those records, it seemed like they started going into their, I think they call it metalcore, where it's like I can't remember what it was. I think it's metalcore, where it's like a melodic metal, where it does like they scream and stuff like that, but then they have like the usual stuff, like Ghost Kids, like that, which I mentioned in one of the other past videos that I just did, or whatever. So like, it seems, and this is my preferred genre, if anything, because I really like listening to bands where they're very melodic in nature. I like it where you could sing to it, like no matter what it is. And this album has a lot of songs that I really enjoy, and I don't know why people are hating on this record as much as they do. Like every time I've seen them promote this record, like all the people that I've seen comment are all like, "Oh, you guys are trash. You guys should go back to doing what you were doing before." And I'm like, this album sounds like a Day to Remember album. Like the past like 4 or 5 have sound exactly the same. If I mean, not saying that it's an insult either. Like it just sounds like a Day to Remember. Like there's not that many bands that sound like a Day to Remember. Sure that they could be pop punk in nature and stuff like that, but like to me, A Day to Remember is the only one that sounds like this, and they always put on like really, really good songs every time. That's mostly why I'm such a fan. I got his album back here on like a t-shirt behind me eventually at one point. I want to go see them live, but I mean, pandemic wise, can't really see anybody. So, I mean, it is what it is. But definitely, all these songs I really enjoy. Like every single one. I could probably listen to this over and over again. To me, Common Courtesy is my favorite record from them. I mean, it goes back and forth where I love Common Courtesy. It's like Common Courtesy, then it's Homesick, and then it's the one after that one. I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of that one too. But what's it called? I don't know why a lot of people are hating on a lot of these songs, because a lot of these songs are totally what they do with all their other songs. Like, it just does not make sense to me. Like, Degenerates was the first one that they came out with, right? They came out with Degenerates. I think that was the first one. And then they led up with, I think it was Resentment afterwards. But Degenerates I like because it's about, like, pretty much, all the people like they hate your friends, and then you're pretty much like, I don't give a shit if you think that they're like crap friends or that they're just crap people anyway. I'm still gonna hang out with them. I don't give a fuck. And that's what I've always liked about A Day to Remember. Like I think it's called All Points to Fort Wall. Man, damn it. All Points to Fort Lauderdale. I think that's the name of the song, where it's just pretty much she talks about how he hates fucking Fort Lauderdale, really, at the end of the day. And he's just like, hates it, or at least he did at the moment when he wrote it, right? Where he's just like, I'm ready to get out. And this is probably like before they even left, right? Because they've been touring for like ages, it seems like now. They even have their own festival, really. So, I mean, like, they've been doing this for a long time, so, like, it doesn't surprise me for, like, if they found their sound and they don't really try to invent anything else or do anything different from what they usually do. But like, to me, I definitely think that my favorite one is Common Courtesy, just because I love everything about it. The haywireness and how much they loved making it, like how much. That's the one thing about this band, is that they've always put their heart and soul into their music, and you could feel it, right? Like Bloodsucker and last, and like the one of my favorite ones, it kind of reminds me of Sticks. I think it's called Sticks and Bricks from I can't remember the damn album. It's like the one right before Common Courtesy came out. Doesn't matter. But anyway, Sticks and Bricks was their like heavy metal song, if they did do one. It was just heavy throughout. And then Last Chance to Dance is definitely that one on this record. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And it's pretty much just talking about you need to cut bad friends out of your life, right? It's just like, this is your last chance. If you keep fucking me over, I'm done with you, essentially. And that's one reason why, because I've dealt with that a few times. I think everybody's dealt with like bad friends that just taken advantage of you so many times. So, I mean, when they played this one, I was like, dude, how did somebody sleep on this damn song? Definitely. I mean, granted, they didn't push it as like one of their songs, but I mean, definitely it makes sense because they have a lot stronger songs. Like Resentment, I don't know why people hate that song. I listen to it like often. It gets stuck in my brain. I've ever since they played it, because it seemed like they were waiting to release this one for a long time. It seems like, because at the time, I think when they first came out on Degenerates, I think it was like November or October or something like that. It was out for a long time. And I was like, damn, they're waiting until March to release it? It seemed kind of weird to release it that late, because you don't see it that many times with many bands or like singers ever, like whenever they release stuff. I mean, granted, in nature now, it should be like more of a single type thing where you drop a bunch of singles anyway, and then like instead of doing albums to total. But especially in Spotify time and everything else, it's like, it seems like that's the way to go. You spend a lot less money just focusing on one song at a time rather than 12 or 13. But like when it because the way that it starts off is Brick Wall, and then they're talking about pretty much you just pretty much heading yourself into a brick wall. Really, that's what it sounded like they were talking about when I watched the video on it. They're like, yeah, you're literally going into a brick wall. Which seems goofy as hell, but like, I definitely enjoy the song. And like, I don't, like, this was another one where they're like, you need to like cut this shit out and start over. I'm like, really, at the end of the day, you guys don't hate on too much music. Quit with the gatekeeper shit, where it's like, hey, you can't play this shit. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Don't comment on their Facebook and everything else, because it's funny to me, like, because you have to like a certain band for you to be able to comment on their page, right? So then I keep seeing stuff where it's like in ads, and then people are like, oh yeah, this album sucks, this song sucks, you need to start over, I just can't listen to you guys. I'm like, you guys gotta like the band for like at least on Facebook for you to comment. So you're gonna go out of your way and like the page just so you could shit on them. It seems kind of dumb. It's like retroactive, right? It doesn't make sense to go through all that trouble. To me, it's like, to the extent I don't there's only like a few things that I don't listen to. It's Justin Bieber, because he's too simplistic, and I think that he's kind of a douchebag. So I don't listen to him. And then it's like certain kid music, or like I don't listen to classical music. Really, that's the only type of stuff. Like, I respect classical music for what it is, but it's like, if I'm listening to something, that's probably the least on my fucking radar. I'd much rather listen to country music before I listen to classical. And I'll listen to just about anything. I'll listen to Kanye West. Shit, I would much rather listen to Paris Hilton's record, even though it's god-awful, before classical music and Justin Bieber. That's pretty sad. But like, I don't usually say to like other people, "Oh, you need to stop doing this shit." I'm not a musician. I'm trying to learn the guitar, right? I want to learn the guitar eventually, but like, I'm no musician. I'm not in a band. I sit there and talk about music and talk about who I love listening to and stuff like that, and and these aren't even really music reviews. It's me just talking about who I end up loving listening to. So like, that's what I'm saying. Too many people bitching about nothing, really, at the end of the day. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Because no matter what, A Day to Remember is going to have a bunch of fans regardless. And like, it's going to be constantly going regardless of like one person. You know, like it would have to be like 90% of their fan base being like, fuck this record, for them to change their mind. And then if they ended up not selling out, like, okay, like, yeah, how most bands go platinum and stuff like that, like, if you ended up truly doing this stuff and you gave a shit, then you would have done, everybody would have not bought the record, right? That's an easy telltale sign, as if they're gonna change their fucking music. Like, definitely, that'd be number one, is if you don't buy it. If they get 2 records, like, hey, 2 people bought it, right? They're gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe we should stop with this sound. But knowing that they've been doing this for a while and they have like millions of followers, I don't know how many they got on Spotify, probably like at least a few million, that listen to them on a current basis, right? So like, it's just like overthinking it. I think everybody's just overthinking most of the stuff that's going on. So definitely, I love every song off this record. Mind Reader is probably my favorite. I love listening to Resentment, Degenerates, and Brick Wall and stuff. But Mind Reader is probably the main one that I keep listening to, like, no matter what. If I, like, put it on a Spotify playlist, or if I play, like, because most of the time I'll go on my iPhone. Yes, I'm an iPhone person. Don't at me. Whatever. But, what's it called? I'll go through my songs that I buy, because I'm more of a physical person, or a digital, whatever. I like to buy my music as a appreciation for the bands, rather than doing like paying for, I don't know, paying for Spotify Premium, where they get the money and then they give them pennies on the dollar for the same thing, right? So so I'll just put it on random on my music and have like a certain amount. I think I have like 64 gigs on my phone, and I have like half of it filled with just music, period. So I'll just hit shuffle and just have them go. So like, every time I'll listen to Mind Reader and just keep repeating it, like, every once in a while. Just don't shut it off. That's why I think it's like my favorite one. But like, FYM, otherwise known as Fuck You Money, is definitely dope. I really love the song. They do 2 songs about money too. They do Fuck You Money, where it's just pretty much like, hey, I want to end up having the money to be able, like, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna buy whatever. Which they probably are kind of close to that. They're probably living comfortable. That's what I think. I don't think that they're like rich. Well, if anything, they're probably comfortable, where they don't have to worry about how much money I'm going to be getting throughout this month, or whatever, living paycheck to paycheck. Which I think everybody should be going for that anyway, living comfortably at least. But, and then they did Only Money, which is different, where it's just like talking about, it's like kind of 2 sides of their own spectrum, where it's kind of like where you want to be able to spend it on whatever you want to spend it on, but then also at the same time, you're not focused on it. Like, you're like, oh yeah, it's just money, right? I'm not focused on selling my soul just to get money, that type of shit. That's what I took from it. And then Looks Like Hell, like, most of the songs are just really good. I definitely love Bloodsucker too, mostly because I always like the songs about people that are just trying to get money out of you, or try to get something out of you. So I definitely love that. And then Everything We Need is just like a song that's like the most heartfelt on the record. It seems like they always do like one, I can't really say it's a ballad, but it's just a sad, I don't know if it would be a sad song either. It's kind of like more romantic in ways or something like that. Like there's one on Homesick where I think it's like fuck, I can't remember the name right now. But anyway, like they have certain songs where they're more romantic in nature or like sad, really. And it seems like, and because everything we need, it just seems like he just wants to make sure that his family's taken care of and stuff like that. Everything that they possibly do need, he will take care of, that type of stuff. So I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, most of this stuff seems like a current theme where it's just like, because Common Courtesy, it seemed like when he was one of the members was dealing with a divorce and stuff like that, and that's mostly why I feel for the song, was because around when that came out, like I was dealing with the same thing. I was dealing with a divorce and stuff like that, so I resonated completely with it and stuff like that. And then this album is kind of the same thing. It's just like, you want to be comfortable, you want to be able to have as much money as you possibly need and get through life with no problem. But then sometimes things get tough anyway, and sometimes you just got to deal with struggles anyway. So for that, I would say definitely listen to this record, and don't listen to the people that tell you that the album's trash anyway. Come up with your own mind on it and then go from there. If you really don't enjoy it, then don't enjoy it. It's fine for you not to like something, but don't try to force other people to try to conform to your opinion. Just enjoy it, and just enjoy it for what it is, and then go from there. And for that, I would say for you to go to the heartofgeek.com for you to enjoy some of the stuff that we do, where we have all the other YouTube videos and the podcasts that we're doing and all the stuff that we have encompassed on our website. We got to do something with Twitch soon. We keep talking about that we're going to do Little Hope. We did Man of Medan a while back. Me and my brother did. We just streamed it one time and did the whole playthrough. We got Little Hope. We just haven't played it yet. So, and then I got to do Five Nights at Freddy's too, because they released it on Xbox and I need to stream that too. I'm sure that people enjoy me being like, oh crap, oh shit, and getting scared while playing it, or jumping, probably more than likely jump scaring myself out of my seat. But for all that, I would say you guys have a nice night or day, and we'll talk to you in the next video. See ya.